go subscribe to Will's Fuckery.
So what's going on, everybody? This is probably the last episode of 2023. Today is Friday, what the fuck is it?
28th, 29th?
I don't know. It's the last Friday before the fucking...
The 29th.
Yeah, so Andrew's talking about maybe y'all getting this at some point this weekend before the new year, because, as I said, this will be the last episode you see of us. Yeah. So.
And I think going into the new year, next year we're going to have some changes and some things we're going to try.
So I've been getting like feedback too. Like, I don't really want to go the Facebook Live route. I guess we can talk about this for a second. I don't really want to go the Facebook Live route just because I've kept a lot of shit off of Facebook due to family and actual friends that I don't give two fucks about their opinion, so I don't really want to hear their shit. But I mean, TikTok has the live shit, which I think would be cool. Maybe if we can.
I think YouTube does too, but you have to be.
I think you got to have a certain amount of followers.
Requirements or something. It never used to be like that.
Yeah, and we're nowhere fucking close to those numbers.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, man. I was like clicking on people's random, like people looking for help to get their shit up, and I mean, there's actually decent people out there that are trying to help promote other people's shit that already have the following. So I don't know, man. I'm down to try to reach out to some of these fucking people that.
Shit, we could even do like a Twitch TV. I know that's like huge for gaming and
yeah.
other
I know
things,
my buddy Delano. He and I get a alert when he's like about to play a game, and I'm not a big gamer, but I show him support. So even if I turn the phone on and set it down, at least he's getting that view. You know what I mean? If it'll help him get to where he needs to be.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and then maybe buying like not like a prepaid fucking line or something, but something that I can, because I don't want my number out blasted, but like random calls, or even if we put like, hey, this is what time we're gonna go on, and just or at any fucking point like shoot a text, whatever. But yeah, man, there's been, I'm actually surprised at the feedback we've been getting.
Yeah, I've been trying to like communicate with some of the people too that have been posting and stuff like that too. Of course, Ian watched a few things and posted something, so I wrote back to him.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
But,
so that wasn't Will, that was me.
I don't know. So it's funny because obviously my overall and green outfit, my sister shot me a text saying, I mean, I posted it, like she got kind of teary-eyed listening to your story about your friend passing and all that shit, but then she commented that I was thinking that Luigi shit too, and I was like, yeah, fuck you. And then she sent me like this Mario like picture on it. So my smart ass, I had to comment like, well, did you see this video? I was in purple. What are you gonna go with? And I was like, you can go with Barney or like Grimace back when I was a fat fuck. And then she hit me like a little bit later, and she was like, Will Luigi or some shit.
Waluigi, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is that? So I pull it up. Of course, it's a fucking Nintendo character that wears purple. So I was like, God damn it, this motherfucker.
Yeah,
so,
it's like the evil copy of Luigi.
Yeah, it's like Wario's friend or some shit. So I just can't fucking win. But at least I was like, yeah, but no matter what you say, I was like matching, right? And she's like, nah, you got it, like in the purple and in the green shit. Yeah, but like, what was I saying? I was saying something.
About the Waluigi, and then you win.
Oh, but at least I matched. Yeah. Fuck you, I matched. Nah, but actually my sister, like I told her, like I want good and bad feedback. You know what I mean? Like the likes, like I mean, it was said as a joke, but it's feedback, right? So we'll work on it, or I mean, I'm trying to get better.
It's a process, man.
It is.
I noticed,
it is, but I also want people to be happy, and definitely if it's the supporters that have followed or whatever helped us as we grow this, for sure. I mean, and like I said, good or bad, like let us know something.
Yeah. But, any feedback's good feedback, really.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm not gonna
like we're still gonna do our.
But like some of the feedback is like a random person I don't fucking know that just wants to talk shit on the fucking internet. Like,
hey man, I welcome that too.
I mean, I guess, but then if they're gonna talk shit, let's not be this keyboard fucking gangster. Like we can get you on or whatever, but I mean, I do want criticism, you know what I mean? Good or bad, but like, definitely the feedback. So, I mean, adding a phone line or something to it might be cool. And obviously getting people in here. I got people that are willing to come up and do whatever, people who do music, people who just want to fuck around. Like, I'm down. So it's just a matter of
just setting it up. Just let us know.
like, we'll do it.
Usually you'll notice that we wear a lot of the same clothes in most of the videos. It's because we'll do a few episodes when we do get together, which is usually like once a week.
Yeah, we try to bang out 2 episodes to drop on like Tuesday and Thursday type shit. But I'm not worried about a motherfucker saying what I wear. Shit.
Yeah. I just it's like one of the only times we can really get together, and I think going into this next year we've got a lot of ideas to do a bunch of different things, just to kind of spice it up and try some different things.
Yeah, so, even like the wireless mics venturing into towns and fucking, I'll chop it up with people. Fuck it.
Yeah, man. I think that's one of the things. I think just the goal of next year is going to be really just growing the channel and just kind of trying to find things that we really kind of want to do, enjoy doing.
Keeping it fresh.
Yeah, and just keeping it fresh. I mean, the podcast will be like the main focal point, but I think there's definitely like things we should try to expand on.
Yeah, like father fuckery is definitely might be a weekly thing as long as I can think of some dumb shit. I guess that's like my new fucking alter ego. I'm owning that shit, dog. So I'm running with it because, I mean, I have a lot of shit in my head for this motherfucker, so it's just a matter of whatever. But the other day I was just bored and like going through music, making a playlist, and this song popped up, and I was like, I got it. Stopped it, got dressed, played it again, rolled one take. But that's just that quick, ignorant shit that I can get out, so it's not.
Yeah, man, but that's what makes you, I think, that makes you you. Like, that's your thing, you know? Like, everybody is very good. And that. Like, if you're growing a channel or you're starting a channel for anybody who's looking to start doing this, like, I think you really got to be true to yourself. You got to do something that you want to do and then just be yourself. Because I don't know. I don't think we would have fun with it if we weren't being, like, you know, us. Like us chopping it up and just talking about the shit we do. Because we really just talk about pretty much anything. And I think that's cool, like, to be able to kind of just go anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like the fact it's a train wreck a lot of times because there's, like...
Nah, so do I, because some of the conversation that comes from it's, like, something I would have never touched on and type shit, you know what I mean? So, yeah. But then I come up with these fucking ideas, and I'm so fucking DTD, and you start talking, and then, like, that idea is gone. And then I'll remember it, like, a couple days later, like, we should talk about this. And then by the time we get back on the mic, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Yeah,
I've got, like, that. I didn't really notice until, like, a few episodes in where I tried to, like, I don't know, I've thought about it. Like, I've definitely reflected on it, so I've tried to pull back a little bit as far as, like, jumping in while we're talking. Trying to think more clearly about what it is I'm trying to convey to what it is we're talking about. Yeah. Like, I noticed that, like, the story when I ranted on forever about the story about my friend, like you were saying, my thoughts kind of were clearer and more, like, wasn't so much of that.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. I mean, you can watch it and see that it definitely was, and it wasn't some bullshit thing, you know what I mean? And that's I think why you probably went deeper than what you even thought you were gonna do, and why it took so long. I mean, you were trying to grab details, and at the same point, I seen your eyes watering up, so I didn't want to interrupt you because I figured it'd be a good thing. Like, if you're going down this road and this is the road you want to go down, like, fuck it, like, I'll ride this out with you, like, see where it goes. I mean, what was the worst case? We turned off the thing, I gave you a hug, like, we're good, like, you got through it. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not being a dick, I'm being serious. I'm for real. So, but nah, I like, I mean, when we were doing it, I was like, oh my God. Like,
where the fuck is this going?
Yeah, and like I could see it, and you were just like, all right.
Yeah, man, I think when I finally got to the point towards the end, like, cause you touched on those dreams, and that's kind of where I wanted to go with it. And then it was just like, I was like, man, to think about, like, what led up to those dreams, because it didn't happen until after he passed away. So I kind of, like, I had to get, like, through that, and I just, so many other shit that kind of, like, led me to that point. So
yeah.
I know we over the weekend we were talking about music and some new changes that are coming and reggae.
No, fuck that. Over the weekend, I found that. I guess it ties into what you're gonna say. So fuck you. I cut you off this time. Over the weekend, Rome, Sublime with Rome sent out an email, and it was Rome just talking that at the end of this 2024 December, he's leaving the Sublime to do his own solo shit. So I quickly like jumped over just to see what kind of lineup was. I'm sure they're gonna drop more throughout, just because I mean, they're like a summertime band, right? That's where you get that reggae vibe from. It's a festival outside, so I'm sure they'll be around. But my birthday being in April, I've seen this 420 show in Atlantic City, and it's like them and Action Bronson and fucking Cypress Hill. And I love Cypress Hill, so trying to get this bitch to jump on to fucking do this, and I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, man. I don't know.
It's a fucking Saturday show.
I
Even
know.
if your work changes, you
yeah,
can be sick.
If I get a new job, I got to worry about what kind of hours, because I'm just trying to get out of the toxic environment I'm in right now. Like, I've been there for a while. I like what I do, but there's just no room for growth, and I'm kind of in that spot where I was supposed to move up to the next level, and then they got rid of positions and shifted shit around, so there's no, like, I'm kind of stuck being a worker bee instead of being a leadership role, and it's
You can be stuck at this fucking Atlantic City 420 show. And,
yeah. Dude, hey man, if I could like just stay, I would. I mean, I totally.
There you go. You just said it right.
Yeah.
We're in. Dude, come on, motherfucker, just jump in. God damn it.
I mean, I still got bills and a house and a family, so I can't be irresponsible as much as I want to be.
What is today? December.
December 29th.
Yeah. So you got
I got some months.
January 20th.
Yeah.
February 20th. Man, you still got like over 4 fucking months, dude. Don't be a dick. Go to
Well,
this
I
fucking show.
definitely want to go to the show. I'm not sure what kind of job. See, all the jobs that I'm looking at right now, like most of them, like there's a few Monday through Fridays, but a lot of them are requiring degrees. And I started college, but I dropped out. Just at the time, I wasn't focused at the time, and now I'm kind of stuck. Like, I've got skills to pay the bills, but I'm always that guy who's pretty quiet. Like, I go in, I do my job, and I go home. Like, I don't, like, I used to get really involved and try to make shit good, not just to make, like, it was never about making myself look good. It was just about knowing that I knew more shit than let on, you know what I mean? And I've always been, like, a go-to, like, person that everybody, like, I've always been a mentor and a trainer.
Take that shit till you make that shit, son.
Yeah, but I just, like, I always get stuck in these ruts where nobody notices, like, the actual work. They know the shit's getting done and I'm reliable.
No, they notice.
But then they use me as that guy who's just a fucking worker bee. They know I'm not going to talk back. They know I'm just going to, no matter how upsetting the shit it could be, they're going to put it on me. I'm going to do it. So I get stuck in those positions where it's like, oh, well, if we didn't have him doing this specific job, who's going to do it? So I always feel like I'm like one of those guys that they'll use me to get shit done, and they'll be like, oh, you're doing a good job. And then when I need shit, I go to them, but I always go to them with a solution too, you know what I mean?
They don't give a fuck.
But they don't, yeah. So, and then when it does come in handy, they use it and they're happy, and they give me like at my current job, I get all this like special like projects and stuff. Like, they'll pull me off of things to do special shit for them because they trust me. They know the quality work's going to be done right. They know it's going to be done in time. Shit, there's no questions asked. They just know to give it to me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to run with it. But I feel like they rely so heavily on me doing that and knowing that none of the other guys really give a shit. Now I'm kind of stuck. Like, they're like, well, if we did that, who's going to do this for us?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, I get stuck being that guy.
Well, I'm going to cut you off again until you shut the fuck up, because you already talked about your work on the
Yeah.
So we'll go back to the Sublime in Rome. So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously you're a huge Sublime fan, so you're excited based
Definitely.
on Bradley's son coming in and the
Jacob.
original drummer coming back and all that
Yeah, I think
bullshit.
you know what, though? I tapped into over the week, because I had actually, before you even sent anything to me, I saw something about it a few weeks ago, before like Christmas and everything, but I didn't Like I was just like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what's gonna happen because there was nothing set in stone. And then it was like a few days later, Rome had posted that, and knowing some, like I talked to some people in other bands that actually do this shit nationally, and independent bands that are on the road doing it for a living. And so I know a network of people that I actually like shoot the shit with. We're not like friends or anything. I'm just some guy that follows them, but they do respond back. So I haven't really asked them about any of that shit personally, but I've seen some of the shit that they've posted.
Right.
And I kind of started connecting dots. So I kind of figured the second, it just solidified the second that Rome posted that. But after watching the videos, because I saw a bunch of YouTube videos pop up one night before going to bed, and it was Jacob filling in. They did like, I don't know if it's, the significance of it was that Jacob is 28, and that's
how long he's been dead.
Right,
Yeah,
28 years.
He said that on the video that I tagged you in, actually.
Right, and I thought it was kind of cool because I know that Troy Dendecker, Bradley's ex-wife, and his son obviously will inherit the band because Bradley owned it. So that's why they had all those lawsuits years ago or whatever, because I know from some of the research that I've done in the past, listening to Rome talk about interviews, like this was an unsurreal thing to Rome. Like Rome was already doing his own musical thing, and he was doing his own stuff out in California, and he kind of like, I guess he was going to be a producer, like he was going to record records and do that kind of stuff. And he met people who knew Eric, and just kind of on a whim, he met Eric at wherever he was working at some recording studio. And then they just chopped it up, and then they hung out a few times. He was invited to like Eric Wilson parties and shit. And based on what he was saying throughout, like other things, like the things I've researched, is that like they hung out, and then they were at like one of his parties, and they would play music. And people kept saying, play Sublime. And he just was like, oh, well, okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that. And Eric Wilson didn't really want to play Sublime songs because I guess his outlook on it is he doesn't like playing old shit. Like, he doesn't want to play the same old, same old.
So you thought. But going to see him in concert, it's a fucking karaoke party of...
Well, I think that's part of the legacy part, though. You got to think, like, in a musical business, like a business...
Yeah, but at this point in their career, Sublime and Rome actually has, 3 or 4 albums?
Right.
And they're all decent fucking albums.
They're not
people
bad.
Want to see them. I actually like a lot of them. But I'm also glad for this move, too, because I like Rome's solo shit.
Yeah. Well, Rome was doing solo shit before that, and he was on track from some of the stuff I've seen. He was on track to, before he did the whole Sublime with Rome, his manager, like, because he had a manager, they were telling him that he had a choice. He could do the legacy route and go with Sublime with Rome because he was jamming with them at this point, or he could pretty much... do his own thing, and in the next 7 to 10 years at that point in time back then, he would be a solo act with his own band and all that, because he has the chops. I'm not going to say anything negative. I know, at the time when Sublime with Rome first came out, being a huge Sublime fan, I was like, well, it'd be cool to hear the songs again, and at least 2 of the members are back in, 2 of the original guys, but then I was also like, well, that kind of sucks because it's not Bradley. Like, that's kind of fucked up, especially knowing a little bit about that lawsuit back then. I was like, well, I'm not going to watch them. So I was not a huge, a fan of Rome. I know at the time he did, a song with, the Dirty Heads. Yeah. And that was a really good song. And I always thought of him, then knowing
got
Ballyhoo.
Some chords, man.
Yeah. And then knowing Ballyhoo, Howie and how he had done, had gone down. And he was kind of they know each other. And I guess in the past, he's gone to Rome's house and has done stuff in his personal studio with him, writing songs and producing or fucking around in the past. So he's definitely a legit musician.
I know you talk about them dudes a lot. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, I like them.
You bring them up a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like them. Yeah, I understand.
I like a handful of songs. I definitely like the Damn It from Blink-182 that they did, but
yeah. Everybody's got different tastes.
And I got a bunch of their shit. Every now and again, it'll hit a random fucking, but I don't know, man, just in the overall. And then, I don't know.
Yeah, I always kind of liked. They had their own sound. Now I feel like as they've gotten older, it's gotten more poppy, but they had a lot of that younger. But
Yeah,
they
but
were.
how old is that dude?
Oh, he's got to be 47. I don't know.
I mean,
He's got to be.
I mean, that's
pushing.
not that old, but at the same point, like, dude, you're still trying to rock like this blonde hair surfer look, like.
But that's what he's known for. He's changed up his
Okay.
look a little bit. But that's he's naturally a blonde dude. I mean, they're nah, man. I don't see that. They're
and that's cool,
but they're on the shore, man. They're from Aberdeen, Maryland.
I don't give a fuck.
That's
I don't like
who
everybody that lives in fucking Maryland.
No, but that's them. I mean, that's
And
the
I know, and
culture
I'm
they
not
go
sitting
around.
here trying to dog your fucking superheroes of Maryland bands, but I'm not a fan. And I don't know, and maybe it's some of the shit that.
He's a great musician too, man. I respect him for that
Okay,
too.
so we'll just. Okay.
Their music got me through a lot of shit as like I was going through my 20s. So I think that's kind of why.
All right. I mean, you pour your love out for them. So
Yeah.
I mean,
They're good
I'm
dudes.
not gonna sit on the mic and pour love out. Like
I don't
I get it.
listen. I don't agree with everything. I think because I've talked to him about some stuff, but you peel back the onion, and everybody's just a person. You know what I mean? Like I've had a hard
Yeah,
talk
but
with
I
him. He's a
mean,
good dude.
Oh, everybody's obviously you're not meeting fucking
Yeah,
aliens,
but
dude.
he
like,
he genuinely is a good person. And then their music to me, like I don't
but
know,
he cares
I like it.
about me.
No, I don't think he cares about me.
No, I'm not going that route. But you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying you.
They're
Anytime we talk about music, you go back to these motherfuckers.
Well,
like,
'cause
are they
they're-
like your favorite? I mean,
they're
you put them up there as like
yeah,
top five.
They're my
fucking
top. They're in my top 10 for sure. Like I followed him for a long time, and
top 10.
he inspired me to be a better songwriter.
Damn.
Yeah, because they kind of like helped me with the Sublime and the Slightly
No,
Stupid.
I mean, I mean, I don't want to fucking bump heads. You like them. I mean, we don't like the same shit.
He's
which
like,
is
I don't
good.
fucking like
I
him.
don't like them. Fuck
Yeah,
them.
I mean, I like him. I think.
But you know, I mean, even so, maybe I didn't even have a fucking opinion. You know what I mean? But then when somebody tells me a story of like talking shit on somebody else's podcast about, I don't know, and I didn't hear it. You know what I mean? But that just rubs me the wrong way. If you got ties and whatever, I get it. But no, so that
I don't have
nah,
ties.
nah.
None of those guys know me.
I don't
know
know.
me.
You've definitely
I
gave
just-
them a fucking reach around at some point in your life.
I just respect them a lot. I think
Okay.
as musicians, they're good dudes.
Then I
and-
respect you for respecting them,
Yeah.
but fuck them. I mean, all right. So back to Sublime without the Rome.
I think with them, like Rome's a good dude on his own, and he writes good music. The guy is fucking talented, and I hadn't seen them live until you and I went to a show like a month or two ago.
Yeah. So that was the second time seeing them because the first time it did have what's the drummer's name?
Bud Guy.
Yeah. So he was there because it was who did they open for? I want to say it was Blink 182. I took my little sister. Both of them are younger, but my youngest one. Yeah, and it was a long fucking time ago. But I mean, even Rome said on the little video he made, like he rode this for 15 fucking years, and I was like,
Yeah, it's been a long
God
time.
damn, I didn't even think it was that long though.
And you got to think too, as a young guy, because he came in maybe around his late teens, and he was like 18 or 19 when he started doing that shit with him. I think.
Yeah, he was
To now, I mean,
yeah.
the dude's got a family, he's got kids. Like you change a lot, not just musically, but as a person, you change.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where he goes because, like I said, I mean, he's got an EP, I guess he did before or somewhere around when he first started, but it's got like that. What the fuck's the name of that song? Ounce of Love or some shit. I fucking love that song.
I don't know.
So
He's a
pretty
great
much talks
songwriter.
about like, I mean, you could almost take the song as him talking about a girl, but he's clearly talking about like weed and the first time he met weed and like getting high and shit and. Like, I love that fucking song.
Yeah.
And his vocals, I mean, I've downloaded tracks that he's just been featured on just because I like his vocals.
Yeah, dude's got a fucking killer singing voice. And the funny thing is, a lot of people, when they were performing as Sublime with Rome, there's a lot of young kids that don't know Sublime. And they'd go to the show, and they thought he was the original singer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and guitar. So, like, no, I don't think anybody else could have done it better than, like, looking back now, because my opinion when I was younger was different. Like, I wanted nothing to do with it. And I know there's a lot of old timey people that listened to Sublime growing up that were against it too, and are like, good, it's done.
Yeah,
but
I mean, even me. I mean, and I was probably. I mean, I listened to Sublime. Like, I liked some of their older shit was hit or miss, and that was mainly just because like sound quality or whatever and whatever. But
see, I like the rawness.
and I do like it, but lyrically, like, I love Bad Fish. I mean, that's one of my favorite songs. But then, I mean, when they blew up, is like right when he died, right? That album,
Right.
that album was fucking ridiculous.
They started growing quite a bit before he died, but they didn't really hit commercially
Yeah, but I think
after he died.
What I Got song,
Yeah,
was pretty much
Santeria.
out. Yeah, but then even what was it, Wrong Way or
Wrong
Santeria?
Way.
They did a video and it was just like, old pictures of him because he was already dead by then.
Yeah, old videos and like, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that band would have been fucking
I think
ridiculous.
I think the times are different too. Like, if he was alive today, would they be at the level that they are at now? And that's a tough one to answer because I think musically, for that time it was a very experimental time in music as far as the grunge and alternative. So like, you had bands like the Chili Peppers who were out of the '80s that were doing a bunch of different things on different albums. Like,
yeah, but I mean that's another band that like they're old Red Hot Chili Peppers,
right,
like with that funk sound and fucking
right.
fleas,
and then they went away from it and they came back
now
to
like
it.
this like
Yeah,
like,
I mean musically
shit.
now you got to musically change too. You can't write the same shit over and over again. You've got to be relevant to that. When you're at that level, you've got to, like, to stay on that level, you probably got to be relevant. It's not, because it's not just
to a point, but I mean, I'm not asking for the same fucking album or the same exact sound, but at the same, like, at that point, I feel like Red Hot Chili Peppers were going for, 2 to 3 radio hits an album. So their style definitely fucking changed.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, because who the
also,
fuck would have ever thought, like, Give It Away would have been such a big fucking radio hit?
Well, shit, I would have, but
Nah,
but as a kid,
ain't
I mean,
no way, because that fucking song is stupid as fuck. Honestly, like, it's catchy though. Like, I like it, but there's so many others. Like, Suck My Kiss on that fucking album, even Blood Sugar Sex. Like,
dude,
there's so many fucking killer tracks.
Power of Equality.
Yeah, there's
the first
so
song
many killer tracks on that fucking album to pick. And that's another thing. There's some albums like even DJing, like going through shit, and like, oh, this track's hot. Let me throw this over. But then like I'm like, why isn't this song like blown up? Like it has even like dance or some kind of like poppy club shit. Like, man, this track would fucking kill. Like, I wonder. So I guess it's all in backing of what the company wants to push forward.
Yeah,
I mean,
record
it's only going to
labels.
get so many fucking hits or whatever, just putting it out there. But all it takes is one fucking track to.
I think too, though, man, like people's musical taste, like for me, I know like sometimes I'll listen to a song, like, and I mentioned this before, like I'll listen to an album and there's songs I'll find that like I know I've skipped over them, but I've never really listened because I'm like, nah, it's not my cup of tea. But then I'll go back to them years later. I'm like, why did I skip this shit?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that, like.
Yeah, because we talked about that with vinyl records, man. I just drop the needle on and just let it play, and I'm like, oh wow. And then I'll run to the computer and be like, oh, do I even got this fucking track? Like, yeah. That's what's up.
Like, and I think, but that I don't know, man. Like the '90s into the 2000s, like it was just a weird time for music. There was a lot of experimental shit going on as far as coming out of the grunge. You had all the alternative bands. Then punk started kind of getting into a phase, and now that's kind of like it's still around, but it's not as commercially successful as it once was. Yeah. Like all those guys are getting older, and
yeah, but even the punk sound that kind of blew up, that wasn't like punk. I mean, that wasn't.
It was like the skate culture really kind of built that up, but it wasn't like it was poppy.
Yeah, but I definitely think like the skate culture built up like bands like 311 and shit like that. But I'm even talking about like. I can't think of any fucking. I'm talking about like raw fucking sound shitty.
Not like
a
Clash
bunch of
or
fucking
anything
white
like
kids in the fucking pit. Like, you know what I mean? Like skinheads, but anti fucking skinheads. You know that movement?
Like
I mean,
Gnostic
that was like a thing, right? Like we hate fucking skinheads like for what they are and Nazis, punks, and all this bullshit. But like, this is our look, so this is what we're keeping.
Well, those to me in my mind, that's the real punk.
Yeah,
the stuff that nobody listens to anymore, like the Clash, the older shit. Like White Riot and stuff like that. Like people like those were the real punks. Sex Pistols, yeah, so they were like a boy band at one point, but Sex Pistols were legitimate dudes. I mean, the Ramones, like, if you go back to that to me is like the real punk. But there's changes over time, just like with metal music. You had the like thrash metal, and that was real big in the 80s. And
they fucking renamed metal every
right.
fucking
there's different
metal.
The second they change a certain style or start writing the music a different way with different like
but that's in every music
techniques,
like
it changes.
Fuck the Backstreet Boys, I'm all about New Kids on the Block, like
right
fuck yeah. But I mean it's
I think with Sublime though, like as far as Rome, like dude's not gonna hurt. He's an uber talented dude. And an uber talented. That dude is super talented. He can write fucking songs, and when we saw him live, the dude was on it the whole way through, singing it. Like, I was kind of impressed because I was like, I hadn't ever seen him. I know he's good, but it blew me away. Like, even playing the old fucking, and I feel like this is probably what upsets people is their set list for like the last few years has all been older Sublime songs.
Yeah.
And they would sprinkle in like maybe one or two Sublime with Rome songs. And I don't know if they did that because it's a marketing thing as a business. Like in this area, people want to hear this. In this area, we can kind of do more of our own shit, you know? But the legacy band thing really, it's got to be tough because like they have written good shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, even that last song they just put out with Slightly Stupid, that fucking Cool and Collected. I think if you go through like my history of iTunes within the past, I don't know, since summertime, we'll say, because that's about when it came out. I think that's one of my top tracks. Even at work, or like if I start the day and I'm feeling good, like I'll put that track on. Like that track makes me feel good. Like,
yeah.
If I'm not feeling good, I fuck myself because I'll put in something darker, which then
takes you down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
So, but I mean,
end up on Pasadena.
Like, even if I'm, I don't know, man, any kind of like upbeat, good vibe type shit, that song brings it to me. Like I love that fucking song.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the Slightly Stupid shit. It's like, I think it's Rome's voice, like the fucking little chorus shit, and like how he starts out on the song. Like I fucking love that song.
I don't know, man. I just know that dude. He's fucking good. Like and then seeing him live just solidified everything like that I've learned about him. So I definitely don't think he's gonna hurt. I think now the way in which he wrote that letter, and then knowing like that they just performed with Jacob, and it's the original lineup of Eric Wilson and Bud Guy. I think it. You know, there was nothing said about good luck or whatever. It was just like, well, yeah, we're done after we're doing this, and I'm doing my own solo stuff, so stay tuned or whatever. I kind of sensed like after we saw them play, because Eric was playing bass. It was like a few shows after that, he ended up getting injured is what was said, and that somebody was going to be filling in for him the rest of their tour when they came around. And he has like a side project that he's doing stuff with, but he like disappeared, and I don't know if he's still playing dates with them, but I don't know, man. Like I saw that video of him playing with Jacob, Bradley's son, and for me, it's like nostalgia.
Yeah, but that dude's another dude that, like, I don't know if it's been drugs or, like, body abuse or he went through something, but, like...
He's torn up.
He's fucking broken, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. Not taking anything away from his fucking talent because...
No, he's fucking great.
As whatever
he's
his
underrated.
Little fucking keyboard joint he plays or the fucking bass, like, obviously he's an amazing fucking musician, right?
Right.
But, like, to see him walk, it was almost like...
Yeah, it was like like seeing your old granddad like walk around.
Yeah, like
it was kind of rough.
This motherfucker a wheelchair because I mean you could tell his body is hurt. I mean he's sore. I mean maybe that's why he fucking took so much. I mean who knows? Maybe it's just to get by the pain.
I don't know. Or maybe he was fucked up.
Route.
Who knows?
Nah,
because I know he rolls.
He should definitely be more like walking on some cloud type shit. This dude was hurt, man. He looked like he was body slammed on a fucking cement block, like fucked up, dude.
Well, and I can't imagine, man, if you're touring that long, going from city to city, playing every night, in and out, you know, I'm sure that's gonna kill you. Doing all that.
But
shit.
I don't feel sympathy for people that's doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm sure that's they don't
living
want
like
sympathy.
the best fucking life. Like
Right.
I'm getting up at 3:45 in the fucking morning driving.
But it can't be that easy either. Getting up every day and then traveling to a new city and being away from.
I
Your
don't
kids
know.
and
I would
family.
like that.
Yeah,
I'd
think
like
I'd
to
like it
fucking-
too, but
So okay,
but your body's gonna wear out.
man, my life is so fucking hard. I get to fucking
But I don't think
go meet
I don't think they
people.
see it that way though. I don't
Yeah,
think
but-
they're like that. I don't think they want anybody's sympathy. I think they're just. But when you're
no, 'cause
away
they
for
got
so
you
long,
to fucking talk about it.
no. But I think when you
No, but I mean, think about it, dude. You fucking live whatever life you want to live. You get fucked up. You do what you want. What are you actually working for 45 minutes to a fucking hour? Cheer for me. I'll come back out and give you another 2 fucking songs. Like, oh, great. And then what happens? Oh, I'm going to go back. I'm going to get fucked up again. I'm going to sleep till fucking noon. And then maybe I'll do a sound check the next day, depending on if we're in the next town or not. Oh, but poor me.
but I think there's a business side to that too though. That
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of us
called,
don't know.
They got some motherfucker doing it for
Not
them.
necessarily. I
That
think
dude is not, musician wise, that dude is good. That dude's not their fucking accountant and all their bullshit. There's no fucking way, man.
no,
Like,
but I'm sure they still have to like go through with things, and they still have to abide by certain things. They can't just come on stage whenever. They got to do sound checks. They got to be at cities on time. They got to do.
I'm
Yeah,
really
I
not
think-
feeling your fucking vibe today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, the fucking. But I think there's a lot more to it than that.
We're
But-
going to close out 2023
Like,
as
fuck
a
you,
fuck
man.
you.
But no, man. I don't know. I don't think that guy's gonna hurt. That's all I gotta say is I think Rome's a good dude. I think his
Yeah.
music's gonna go
So
on.
he's not going to hurt, right?
Yeah, he's gonna do well. He's gonna excel. The dude's and,
And
he's
even
well
if
known.
And even if his, okay, so even if his solo shit tanks, which I think he's got enough following now that he's known, or maybe like the early Rome shit didn't get played because nobody knew who the fuck he was. He had good vocals or whatever, but now that he's done this 15 years with Sublime, people might be pissed, but I guess more people are probably happy because a lot of people, I just feel like, oh my God, it's Bradley's son.
There's a nostalgia.
I don't
thing
know.
to
I've
it.
never been a fan of, like, I get like whatever your parents do or whatever, but there's so many people that try to do the same shit that aren't as talented, but still try to ride the coattails. I mean, sports is one thing. I mean, if you're talented, you're talented. Your fucking dad's nut was to the next level that fucking made you this fucking all-star. Great.
Yeah.
But if your fucking father was a music person, you're really not all that great. But, like, let's ride his fucking coattails. Like, I don't know. I didn't wake up one day and, like, I'm going to ride my dad coattails today. I'm going to beat these kids.
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to beat this woman. Like,
I don't know, man. My mind on what they're gonna do if they come back as Sublime with Jacob.
they're going to do the same shit that Rome was doing. They're not going to put out new
Right.
original shit.
But I don't. But even if they do, I don't think it's like sure they've got Bud and Eric, and I think a lot of people are on the impression that Brad did everything, and he probably did a lot. Like he was the star power, but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that they contributed to that as well. So I know back when the lawsuit came up, they wanted to perform under Sublime because they put sweat, blood, and tears in
they
that
put the
too.
work in. But wasn't that the same thing like fucking what's that whore's name? Courtney whatever.
Oh, Courtney Love
yeah,
with
wasn't
Nirvana
there
or
some
something?
kind of Nirvana thing because Kurt Cobain had it, whatever, and
I think so. Yeah,
I think
Dave Grohl.
And the other fucking dude wanted
Chris-
some shit, but
Yeah, Chris Novoselic.
I don't know.
and-
I figured if you come to the table and you're an equal part, like whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Then at that point, you're a band. It's not like you're bringing on people just to fill. You know what I mean? It's not.
Right. Well, and some bands have done it and been successful. Like some bands, people have died and they've replaced them. I mean, look at Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
They got Chris Duvall.
Okay, so that dude sounds good,
yeah,
but like,
he's not Lane Staley, but
I mean,
he's
got,
good too.
He almost hits the voice, but as
Right.
far as
They've written
me,
stuff.
as
after.
far as me listening to him, like I have the new shit, and there's a couple tracks here and there, but like my go-to is still like going back to like Man in the Box days
Jar of
and shit like
Flies.
that. Yeah, like I want that old shit. Like, and it's not. And a lot of thing is, I think if you're not taking, I don't know, at some point, why don't you just fucking just like leave the name, even if you got something like on the cover like such and such from whatever, and you're making this super group or whatever, like Hell Yeah did. So it's got Chad from Mudvayne, Vinny from Pantera, like whoever the other guitarist was, he was in Mudvayne, and the other guitarist was from Nothing More or some shit like that. So it was a super group, but like I didn't know who the fuck it was. If I wouldn't have walked by the cover, like I seen it and I knew who they were just because I followed some of those bands, but they had the dummy sticker there. So like maybe somebody else picked it up and didn't know their face and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna check this out just because whatever."
Right.
But it's not like. Not once did, and I've seen Hell Yeah a bunch of times. Not once did they come to the table and play a Mudvayne song. Not once did they come to the table and play a Pantera song live. Like
Right, and I don't think it should be a problem to cover other
but
songs.
even this
it shouldn't be your whole.
even-
I don't think it should be your whole list.
But even
though.
last year, Pantera did that big comeback. It had Zach Wilder on the fucking guitar for Dimebag, and who was the Anthrax drummer for Vinnie Paul.
Yeah.
It had the Rex, the bassist, and Phil, the singer. But
And then Rex was only
mean,
in it for a
I-
few shows.
I
He got
get
hurt.
it, but
and-
at the same, I don't know. I guess everyone trying to make money, right? Make your
Right,
money.
it's the legacy
People are gonna
thing.
see you.
They're
Yeah,
trying to make
but-
money off of a train that got derailed a long time ago, and they're still relevant musically today, but it almost becomes like a cash grab, and I think that's why a lot of people have problems with that. So I know, like as far as
Yeah, but
Sublime,
they're selling the fuck out of shows. So I mean,
yeah,
even
people still want to hear the music. It's relevant to especially a lot of younger kids who didn't see them when they were around. Like
yeah.
you know, so the need for it is there. There's money to be made,
But
but
like, I mean, I get it with all this music coming out again, and I mean, even if you do like a couple second TikTok and the song blows up, like, I mean, I know Logan was talking about she wanted to see like Ozzy Osbourne, like she likes Ozzy Osbourne. Well, that's never gonna happen. He's done touring, but like, I used to hear my dad talk about Ozzy back in the day. Well, based on Ozfest, I mean, Ozfest came around every fucking summer for 7-8 years. So I seen Ozzy. I seen him with the original lineup of Black Sabbath. Yeah, they're all old, but it still was a great fucking show. It's still something, like, it's not like, oh my God, but it was shit that I got to see. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I like me personally, I would go see Sublime if they do decide to do this thing with Jacob. They had this other guy, and I don't know what band he's from, filling on like a backing guitarist. He was pretty much doing a lot of the stuff because Jacob was singing, and I mean it sounded good. But and I don't know how long they've been practicing together, but I noticed like watching a few of the videos and watching the whole show that they did, there was definitely something. They were playing a benefit for HR from Bad Brains, like they did this thing, and I don't think that Eric really wanted anything to be about Sublime that night, because I know at one point in the show, Jacob takes off his shirt to pay kind of like tribute, to his dad. Like it wouldn't be a Sublime song without this, and he talked about his other band, and so I have followed earlier stuff of Jacob's too, and Jacob in his own right, he's younger obviously, he's 28, but he had this band called Law out of Long Beach, California, and they were pretty fucking good. Like I followed them till they disbanded. Now he's played with a lot of other people. I know he's done some time on the road from what I've heard and what I've seen over the last few years. So this kid does have chops. He is a singer. It's an acquired taste.
Okay, but you
It's
put
an
out
acquired
great
taste.
fucking music, right?
Yeah.
All right, his father's known,
Right.
and you put out better music than him. Who do you think is going to go further in a music career?
Well, him.
Right. So I mean, it's,
He's also,
but that's just like.
but he's also got the brand under him too. You gotta understand. He's got
but,
brand
I mean,
recognition.
you got Biggie's son now doing a fucking like some documentary and getting backed by everybody just because he's Biggie's son. But the only picture he has is, I mean, he was a fucking like he didn't know his father. So all these stories that he's gonna put in this documentary is not something that
he knows anything.
he
about it.
knows.
Right. So
Just
in
like
Jacob,
you're
Jacob's
talking
gonna be the
about
same.
your dad's been dead 28 years. You're 28 years old. What, like, great.
Yeah.
At least you
Well,
got
he
the
was a
CD
baby.
and shit. Right.
Yeah, he
I mean,
doesn't
obviously
really.
he was on the fucking
But
album, like
dude,
playing the guitar.
he's mentioned before though that every time he's played Sublime songs or covered them, he's always felt like it's been a karaoke for him.
But
Because,
somebody who's killing, like Corey Taylor's son. Have you heard his fucking band?
Mm,
That dude is fucking amazing. Like, I mean, he does sound like Corey Taylor, and Corey, he's got the fucking raw and the fucking nice vocals. But like his son, I mean, his son's young as fuck, obviously. But I think he's doing shit with other kids that their parents are in Sublime
Their
and
bands.
Slipknot. But yeah, his vocals, like, I I would support him. Like, no matter who his dad is, like, he's coming to the table great, and
Dude's got
and
talent.
he's not
He
like,
was brought up in it, but
hey,
he's good.
this is whose son I am. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I think Jacob in his own right's good, but he's definitely not his dad either.
I mean, he's definitely not no ballyhoo for sure. I mean, fuck.
No, he's the kid's talented for sure. He's definitely got a voice. He's his own unique thing too. Like even playing the Sublime songs, he's saying things his own way.
Yeah, but did you read the comments under that video?
I read a lot of good and bad. So for me
Yeah.
personally, like it's something I'd pay to go see because I'd like to see Eric Wilson and Bud Guy playing the songs.
Well, don't let it be anytime soon because you might have a new job and not be able to give a guarantee
Even
of
on a
going to see
Saturday.
this motherfucker.
But I think it'd be like a one-time thing. It'd be just kind of like a good nostalgia thing to see that and then support it. But then I don't know if I would see it more than once. Like I would definitely have rather seen like
So the real question is,
seeing the video. I would have seen a Sublime with Rome
would
again.
you buy a T-shirt?
Well, I always buy T-shirts.
I always buy a T-shirt and a hat.
I mean, yeah, I'd be supportive just because playing music and trying to do what they do. Like I'd be supportive of that. But I don't. It's not something I'm.
I mean, which is great. Like I try to support a lot of shit. I mean, just because if people have a goal and I can like and subscribe to fucking something to help them get to whatever, yeah. And what's it do to anybody? Instead of, you know what I mean? That's not going to cost you anything. You're still showing support. Like I get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. I mean, I would probably, I don't know. I'd probably go see it just to say I seen it. But if it comes on a 420 on a Saturday, I don't think I'd go see it. I think I'd have to give you some bullshit excuse in case I get some new fucking job 4 months down the goddamn road or something.
Nah, man, I definitely I don't know. It's something I'd like to see at least once if they decide to do that. I'm assuming that's where it's going because why would they stop Sublime with Rome?
Yeah.
And especially if he owns the name.
But it's funny how, like, I know it was in talks and hearsay on different music sites and shit about this, but I feel like as soon as Rome sent that fucking thing out through the email,
it was like a definite
boom. But
Yeah.
like all those clips, the clip that I tagged you in, that was like within like hours of me seeing that video that was emailed. So it was just like, wow, like. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's definitely not going to be the same. And as far as performance based, from my point of view, and I could be wrong, the kid's got chops as far as singing.
But they're definitely not going to headline a tour, even as Sublime, even with that name. They're not going to headline it.
I don't know, man. They'd have to do some work with him.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Jacob's
They'll jump
good,
on one of these.
But he's
festivals.
definitely not on that level, and you could tell like the playing and even the singing. Like he did a great job, and it's good. And it's a good thing. There's nothing bad, but as far as like doing what Sublime with Rome has done for the last how many years?
Yeah, but also, man,
he's not on that level yet. So I don't think
you had 28 years to learn like 4 fucking albums of your dad. Like, I mean,
I don't think he as a player though he's not on that level.
no, but I'm saying he had all these.
He's
fucking
had all this
years,
time,
you know.
but he's his own person too. He may not be into it like you know.
But now he is, right?
Well, I think he's into that style of music. I mean, his stuff was started as punk reggae kind of stuff, but he's more into like the rock. Like
punk rock type shit?
No, like rock, alternative rock. Because his band Law did a lot of that when they first started, and then as they started experimenting on the second album, it was completely different and was more rock influenced than that. And naturally, they were way better because all those kids were more into that. But being from that area of California, that's like the reggae, punk rock, ska thing is like a thing over there.
Yeah. So is the hardcore fucking scene, man.
Like, so for me, it's like, I don't know. I think it's cool that they want to do that, but I mean, and I'll be supportive of it, but I don't know if it's going to be to the quality that, to what it originally was. And honestly, my personal opinion, looking back on it now from like the opinions I had to what I have now, like Sublime with Rome has done it at the highest level it could be done at.
Yeah.
Like no other band, whether they're a cover band or whatever, is not going to be able to do it the way that they've done it. at the level they've done it. So I think it's been a lot of people will shit on that, opinion, but I think like because I know I used to have a different opinion about it. I didn't want to fucking see them back then, but listening to their stuff that they put out going back years later, like they had their own good songs. I just wish they would have feathered in more of Sublime with Rome songs and not just played like don't get me wrong, they played the old shit great.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to hear the stuff that was catered towards Rome more than, you know what I mean? Because you're not Bradley, and Bradley's not you. Like your sound's different, and what he does good, he does great, and even the covering, the stuff he covered, the dude's great. So I don't know. I think like
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he's got better vocals.
Dude's got
than
pipes,
Bradley,
but he can also play the guitar like a fucking beast too. Like, dude's good. I don't know. He impressed me. I saw them and I wasn't expecting very much, and I was blown away.
I think we're hitting like 50 minutes on this.
Yeah. But I guess as far as like that, like
Yeah, like I love Ballyhoo. They're awesome.
I do. I think they're a good band, but it's a Maryland thing, man. Like I think for me, Ballyhoo was like they were just a band I was listening to as I was getting back into.
Because they were out of
music.
Maryland.
Well, we used to go see them a lot.
Yeah,
My
I mean, I
friend-
guess
my
I'm the
friend
same
got
way
him
with
into it.
Clutch. I mean, Clutch is from Maryland.
Yeah.
They're I put them within top 5.
It's like a prideful thing. It's like true Maryland, like the stupid shit that Marylanders do. Like you're like, I see that because you're from that area. You know, you're prideful. It's just like your local teams that you watch. Like if you're from Baltimore and you're into football, you're gonna be a Ravens fan. Not all are, but
right. I mean,
9 out of 10 times.
and Ravens aren't like my top team, but I mean, I got a Ray Lewis jersey. Like, there's certain players, and I mean,
right.
But as far
It's a regional like your thing.
I don't know. I mean, you talk about that. Do you love Good Charlotte? Those motherfuckers were from Maryland.
Nope.
Maryland Pride, motherfucker. That's your top
But
5.
I wasn't ever really into like the poppy punk bands. Like my pop punk bands were like No Effects. They were stuff I grew up on. I was kind of a snotty like
Yeah, I see it.
selective
Douchebag.
not so much now. Like my musical taste have changed and I'm more open to shit. But at the time when they were coming up, like yeah, they had great songs, but I wasn't like
Great.
And I didn't know they were from this area. I really didn't. I never looked into them. Like when I was thinking of like bands that weren't, because I was real big into underground music, like the stuff you go to churches and small little like taverns and shit to see. So at that time I wasn't into huge bands. I was into like the bands I saw every other weekend and shit like that. I was always into raw, not as talented bands. I don't know why. It was just I guess just going to the shows and then having the stories of, just the memories I had with going to those shows with my brother and his friends, like, and then like I don't know, being in a car with a bunch of dudes smoking weed with my brother, like I don't know, all of his goofy friends, like
That was like 4 likes in 10 seconds. Dog.
Yeah,
God.
I don't know. I just those memories kind of cemented a lot of the taste that I had.
Yeah, but I mean, that could have been the memory that was tied to it, not so much the fucking music. It could have been
It's
time
nostalgia.
with your brother and shit like that. You know what I mean? Shit like you'll remember, not so much the band that you went and seen.
Oh, but I could list every band, and there were songs like most of those bands I listened to. I would sit there and listen to all their records, and they were talented. They weren't on the level like a lot of the other bands I listen to now are,
Yeah.
but they were good in their own right.
I mean, I definitely got some hardcore fucking shit from bands throughout Baltimore, but
Looking Forward was one of those bands.
I mean, I'm not like cranking them like I would a Hatebreed album.
No,
but I guess I can't say that because Hatebreed is probably my favorite. I mean, if you pull up the first 4 albums and just read the song lyrics, Jamie Josta has got me through so much shit.
But they're also like top of their game of what they do too. Like they're good.
Yeah, but I mean, even
when
them,
somebody's that
last,
good,
the
though.
last 2 albums though, then they did that cover album which I thought fucking sucked. I mean, Jamie Josta did like 2 solo albums, but yeah, I mean, I was like that groupie fucking dude going to Hatebreed because every time they came to town, I was fucking there, and I mean, to the point that he noticed who I was by then, like, you know what I mean? So
He's like, it's that fucking guy.
yeah. Well, I was also big as fuck, so I mean, I could get through a fucking crowd and shit too. But yeah, like I get it. I mean, I'm not pissing that you're fucking gay for fucking ballyhoo or whatever. But
No, man, I respect him a lot. I think the thing that really it's not even just talking to him, like especially in the last few years, because I talked to him years ago, and he probably won't remember this, because you see, when you're going to city, you meet people all the fucking time, and at the end of the day, he's just a dude too. So like, I'm sure there's certain people that are gonna stand out to him, but for me, it's like I'm just some kid that listened to him and then would chime in for a minute,
right.
And,
But I mean,
and I'm awkward as fuck
and I
too.
get
So
I get the support. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't illegally download that fucking Damn It song. I heard it, and I did go to iTunes and I bought it. I mean, there's certain things that I'll still grab off the internet or whatever, but if it's an artist I like, I want to show support, like, it's worth my money. I mean, just like spending the money to go to a show or whatever, you know what I mean? But
well, and it's not everybody's cup of tea either. Like, I don't know. For me, their earlier stuff I love more, but that's also the stuff I kind of was raised up on them for, So
Yeah.
like, Cheers was a great album. That was their third album. The Do It for the Money was their second album. That's the first one I ever heard, and I liked it. But then seeing them perform it,
yeah, I think
it
that's
was just,
the one where they're
wow.
naked on the cover.
Yeah.
That's the album that I got introduced. But like the same guy introduced me. You might even know him. He's from. You remember Chris Newton?
No.
Anyways, he lives in Atlanta now, but I mean, he gave me the Bumpin' Uglies, the Pasadena, the Grilled Lincoln, the fucking
See, Grilled
Valley
Lincolns,
Hill,
I
like,
saw
all them. Like,
open.
so it kind of branched it from there, and then bands that they've worked for, following them on whatever social media.
That's kind of how I grew my
So-
repertoire, though. Was like, because I knew Sublime as a kid. I heard it on the radio, but I never like looked too deeply into it. Like, there were songs I heard all the time, and then my sister had like a burned CD. Back
Well, I was
when
like
that
a
was a thing.
teenager when that shit came out, so that was like a huge soundtrack, that album.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went,
The self-titled album was obviously because it was
but
also
then-
on the radio.
Then
too.
knowing whatever, like, little skater dudes that I fucking would smoke weed with or hang out with throughout whatever,
You had any
they would
house
be
parties?
more like, oh, here, this is the same band, older shit. But yeah, which then tied me. I mean, I'm not saying Sublime shit was shitty. There's definitely whatever, but I mean, I definitely like a handful of tracks on every album, so it's not like I'm shitting on it by any means. But
Yeah.
the sound quality, I mean, you could definitely tell that album was going to take them to the next level. The sound quality, I mean, it just seemed more fucking put together, you know what I mean, instead
Yeah.
of just like,
Whereas they kind of did it. Well, that second one they did.
but
they
that
did
was
by
through
themselves.
like their album, like Skunk Records or whatever the fuck it was called, right?
Yeah.
Or
So,
something like that.
well, the guy who runs it now, his friend, I can't remember the dude's
But
name.
that was the name of the record company.
Yeah,
right?
but he was a record, like, he went to school for that, and he was sneaking them in to get recordings done.
Oh,
like,
nice.
So that's kind of how that happened, is like he was sneaking them in onto the college and giving him his free like recording time as a student. And that's kind of how
which
they
paid all for him for sure. Though.
right.
God
Right.
damn.
Had he not had that, they would I mean, I'm sure they would have been discovered though, because they were like the best live band in that area. And that's a very musical, like,
Yeah.
fucking area. But,
I need to get some shit out and get somebody to grab me and go on tour with them.
yeah.
So then
Hey,
you can
that'd be kind of
like,
cool.
Good luck, man.
Hey, I've seen some shit like that. No, man, I'm definitely not on that level, not at all. But in fact, before we get off here, this was the kind of thing that's kind of upsetting. I got a fucking email from somebody posing as fucking Law Records, and they sent, "Oh yeah, I saw your band thing on Instagram, and I'd like to get you labeled, but send me $2,000 as a registration thing and all this and all that." And I was like, obviously this is a scam. I was like, this couldn't be legit, but I should probably notify somebody who knows, like, them. And Law Records is owned by, like, Kaleo, I think is his name.
Sure.
It's the guy from Pepper.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and so that's their label. And this other guy named Brett was the guy that apparently sent this to me. And I looked at the email and I was like, this is definitely not them, because it's not a legit email. It's a free, like, account off Outlook. I was like, they can't be them.
Yeah.
Not at the level they're at. And I reached out to Howie and sent him pictures of it after I talked to you. Because it's like, hey, man, does this look legit? Because at one time, they were on Law Records.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, that's definitely not. And I was like, I know. But I just want to, I was going to reach out. They should probably know that somebody's trying to like pull this shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, it just fucking hurting. I was like, man, I wish somebody would notice my shit. But then again, I don't know, man. I don't put enough into it anymore. So, I don't know.
It'll come.
I'm getting too old, man.
Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
getting too tired. Dude, my body's...
I'm not tired. I'm ready to fucking take this shit and
I'd like to,
run
but then I'm just so boggled down. I'll be honest, man. I'm fucking broken. Like, my head and my mind.
I got
like,
duct tape, super glue. We're going to get this shit up.
dude, no, like, seriously, I'm broken. That's why I'm dreading going back to work, because I don't really want to do that anymore. Like, it's not what I want to do. I got to do it to pay the bills, and I'll do what I have to. But as a person, I'm fucking broken. Like, I'm at a bad... And this time of the year sucks for me anyway. But I just feel like anything that I am good at isn't what anybody
Yeah, but
needs.
now even motherfuckers that are getting enough views and hitting these podcasts, they're going around to like clubs doing like live show fucking podcasts and shit.
Well,
like
shit, man. But I mean, you're...
I got dreams, son.
You're
dreams.
you're the comedy. I'm kind of just there for the ride. You know what I mean? I'm not even good at recording this shit.
Nah, what are you talking about?
Like
Nah.
I don't know. I have my own like little things that I do that I know I'm good at, and there's things like I want to learn.
Like say like and like.
But I don't.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have that talent. You know what I mean?
Dude, don't sell yourself short.
I don't know. But yeah.
Don't close out this show selling yourself short, leaving 2023.
No, man. I mean, I'll go down trying, but it's like just all the other shit I got to do to be able to put energy into the stuff I want to do. Like, at the end of the day, I'm fucking.
And no,
speeding up.
so and I trust me, dude. I know you're talented all around. I know you don't think the same as yourself, but another thing, man. Wrapping this year up, man. I'm grateful for you to take your time and to come here and to. Because I know you did your little podcast shit before, and I don't even know if this is the route you really want to go, but I feel like you're sticking into it, and you're trying to do this, and you see where I'm trying to go. So, like, honestly, man, from the bottom of my heart, like, I appreciate you coming and putting in the work. I mean, fuck, dude, you do more for the show than I fucking do, but...
nah, man, not really. It's a partnership, I think.
And that's what I wanted it to be. That's why when we said this is what we're going to do, like, hey, we don't have to keep this Will's fuckery, like... No, because I mean, I do have a vision, whether it goes there or not. I'm trying to fucking do whatever. So
yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, this is like, for me, I want to see you like just even outside of doing whatever. Like, for me, I'm a person who wants to, like, when I see shit, I have an eye for certain talents. Like, I know I have talents in some things, and a lot of it's raw, and I like it like that. But I can kind of see things that not everybody sees right away. So I have like a knack for that. And seeing you and then knowing you, I'm like, why aren't you doing this? So for me, it's like, I want you to be able to, even if it means me getting pushed aside at some point or pulling back. Like, for me, I see a lot. I think it's something you enjoy doing. So we're doing it. I enjoy doing it with you. And I see opportunities for you to do things like that eventually, like on not just the podcast, but other things we do down the line with the channel. Like, I want you to have that. Like, so for me, it's like, I like to facilitate things. You know what I mean? I may not have the shit to facilitate it, but I want to get you to that point where you can kind of do what it is you really want to do. So for me, it's like, being a part of this means a lot to me. So I want to be a part of it, but I also want you to be able to do the shit that you want to do. So that's my goal, is to kind of, not necessarily like a management thing.
I just want you to talk shit. It's fine. Like,
well, yeah, I'm not very good at talking shit, though.
I am.
I take it.
Nah, I'm for real, dude, from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah,
like,
man, I appreciate that.
I mean, and we hit it on before. Like, we definitely have a bond of a friendship that. I mean, like you said, you were a fucking kid, but I don't know, even fucking around when you were a kid, like, I always came and fucked with you or whatever. I mean, the same shit I do with Ian, like, and I could see. I mean, Ian pulled me down here on Christmas.
He's like an exact
to
copy.
his shit.
But he's a smarter copy.
So, yeah, man, I don't know. So I'm grateful for. I guess I'm grateful for fucking Carly graduating. You know what I mean? Cause
right. We want to have cross paths again.
Right. Because I talked about doing this for over a year. And just Oh, you were like, oh, that's easy to do. Okay, well, show a dumb motherfucker how to do it then,
Yeah.
and then like
You'd
well,
be
yeah,
surprised
let's do this together.
what you don't know. You can learn on YouTube, and there's a lot of good and bad advice. It's just kind of like do by trial has always been my
Right.
thing. You got to at least try it, and then kind of reflect on what you're doing as you're doing it, and then find kind of like a motivational thing, like or an area of where you want to go, and then kind of feather that in, and then go off and do those things. Because if you're not like experimenting, in my mind, I like to experiment. If you don't try it, you're not going to know the good or the cons from it, the pros and cons. So you just kind of got to do it, and then kind of find what you want to do.
Do it.
Follow through.
Do it. Yeah. No.
My problem is I'll start a bunch of shit and then I don't follow through. And it's because I'm bogged down by so much other stuff outside of that project.
Yeah, because your brain's just fucking.
I fry way too easily these days. I can't shut it off, man. It's just something.
Yeah, but that makes you, right?
Right.
I mean, good or bad, it makes you
right.
as a person. So
It's a blessing and a curse.
take it for what it is. So, you want to do another episode?
Yeah, I think
so. We'll take a break or whatever, and so we'll drop this one before before Sunday, and then we'll drop one.
Yeah, I'll probably drop this one if not like very late tonight. I'll probably set it up to drop tomorrow.
Yeah.
Even if I get it
that'll
on
work
there.
because then I'll be able to throw a stupid fucking TikTok of me saying something, or we can even record a TikTok thing and I can put it on there just as a heads up in an Instagram. But, yeah, man, how do you want to say anything to wrap since this is going to be the last shit of 23?
Yeah, I guess for those Christmas has passed since the last episode that we did. So belated Merry Christmas to all the people who celebrate or whatever, and just I guess going into the next year like with the New Year. So Happy New Year, and just like let's hope for a better year next year. I know there's going to be a lot of crazy shit going on in the world, like it's always happening, but I think like my thing is I reflect a lot. So reflect on your shit and try to put yourself where you want to be, and don't let people or their negative shit or whatever, like just do you, man. Like find whatever it is you want to do.
Live the life.
Right.
I mean, fuck it.
Like stop worrying so much about the shit you can't control, and work towards the shit that you know you can control, and you just got to get yourself in that mindset to put yourself where you want to be. Because life's taken down. We all have an expiration date, and who knows when that's going to happen. So you just got to fucking do it. Don't put it off. Don't stop putting yourself off. Like follow yourself. Don't be stupid, but like don't be irresponsible, but work towards what you want to do.
Sometimes being irresponsible is fucking cool though.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to be irresponsible. You got to take a risk, but just, I don't know, Happy New Year, and just like, good luck to you in the next year, and like, don't be afraid to talk about your shit.
And say like. There you go. So I guess I'd end with thank you for whoever has supported us this year. That means a lot. The numbers are, they are starting to creep, man. Some of those views, they're still low, but they're creeping enough where it's making me feel good. Like, oh yeah. So
it was like 8 or 9 days ago. We're at like maybe a little more than that. It was like 10 or maybe almost. It hasn't been 2 weeks, but it's been like a week and a half, and we were at 500, which was a milestone for us. And I think right now we're almost at 1,000. So we've actually done pretty well for being nobodies, really. In my mind, I think that's kind of like an accomplishment.
You calling a nobody, motherfucker?
We ain't nobodies. To the world, we ain't nobody, but to us, we're somebody.
So yeah, I need y'all to like and subscribe. TikTok's cool, and what's the other one? Instagram's cool, but we drop these podcasts just on YouTube for right now, and that's another thing. Maybe if we can get a big enough thing, we'll put it on other shit. But right now, we need the support there.
All the social media
support there.
Yeah, all the social media is good. We're right now. Our goal is we're trying to focus more on getting numbers on our YouTube, so we could eventually monetize and kind of build something so we can do more. Like we want to really do a whole lot more and eventually get better equipment to be able to do like out of the box shit.
Yeah, but we even talked about dumb sketch comedies, or even fucking doing some kind of short little fucking dealio or whatever. The
movie
fuck.
clips
so,
and stuff.
There's
like
other
that.
shits out there. Like, definitely the fucking Father Fuckery is coming back for sure strong.
Dude, we could do like a little horror movie like short, like with Father Fuckery.
Yeah, we could. I mean,
Or short stories with Father Fuckery.
Or we can take Father Fuckery door to door like fucking Jehovah's Witness, and I'll talk shit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck, they're not supporting me.
They're gonna think like you're Jehovah's Witness, and you're like,
Yeah.
just came to your doorstep to talk shit.
I'm just, how you doing today? I'm Father Fuckery. I like to say, no, but no, for real. All the support has been awesome.
Yeah, you guys have been great.
I mean, even just like I was saying on one of the TikTok clips, like I never would expect the one day I talked about blowing Santa but that's great, right? Because that means people are watching this shit. They think it's funny. Great. So that's a success for me. Like you watched it, even if you didn't tell me, but you laughed. So that's a win. So please, if you have, like I said before, if a motherfucker's phone is unlocked, I don't give a fuck. Tell your siblings, tell your kids. Like, I don't know. It's funny
just
because
even
Logan,
share it with
because
people
Logan
that you
was
think
like,
would like it.
Dad, you should make stickers. And I was like, yeah, that would be cool, but what the fuck are you going to do with them? I'll hit them up on school. And I was like, fuck
Yeah,
no.
just slap them.
Your school already fucking hates me. They're going to, like, let's look up this Will's. Oh, this is her father. What a fucking douchebag. Yeah, nah, we're not tagging the local high school. Not right now.
Tag all
anyway.
the taverns where all the bands play.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck is
it,
this?
right? I mean, who knows, man? I'll go to Sheets and put a fucking...
Yeah, you know who used to do shit like that? There used to be this punk, like horror punk band out of Frederick, Maryland that used to do it. It's called So Damn Thirsty. And then they used to slap shit because they would do covers of Misfits. They would slap stickers everywhere. And out in Gettysburg, like when I was living in Gettysburg, of all places, like random, on a fucking stop sign. So Damn Thirsty.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anywhere I went down Frederick, So Damn Thirsty. I go to any like fucking bar shows down in Baltimore, I saw stickers everywhere. And I was like, man, they were really trying to get that shit everywhere.
Yeah,
Almost like they were just driving around slapping
that's
stickers
great
on
though,
shit.
man. Like they got motivation. Like
Yeah. We'll just drive around the cities and
I
fucking
don't give a
slap
fuck.
stickers.
I will. I'll fucking give.
Take a vacation, just
or I'll like go through like Baltimore and I'll write like Will's Fuckery on it and just give the bum like $10 and be like, just hold this sign. We'll just do like loops so I can get
hey man,
something,
here's
man. I don't care. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something. But so let's go ahead and call this 2023 a wrap. And thank you very much. And don't get too fucked up on New Year's Eve. If you do, be safe. And
thank you for all the
if
support.
you're around somebody that you don't 100% trust, don't let them Bill Cosby your ass. You don't want to go into the new year as a fucking
Hey, if they're gonna do it though, at least tell them to watch Will's
as a
Fuckery
victim
first.
of Dr. Huxtable. Yeah, no doubt. Like fuck it.
It's like if you're gonna do it, here you go. But check this
If
out.
you're gonna drug somebody tonight, just say you're Will's Fuckery so they at least know.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, you
Come
might
on,
as well
dude, I'm
watch
not
this
even-
show first. There's some.
I'm fucked up, and I wouldn't even have said that. No, like no. Hey, have a good New Year's, and we'll be back in a couple days with the next episode we're about to record.
Hell
So
yeah.
thank you all very much.
Out.
Oh, you want me to hit this shit?